Okay guys, welcome back after that short advert break. Let us now look at conversion graphs. Okay, so looking at the first question here, it indicates that we should carefully study the conversion graph alongside, right? To answer the questions that follow. Now, as I always mention, take time, take a few seconds, look at what is presented to you. Now here is our graphs, and what I see is on my y-axis I have miles, and here on my x-axis, my independent axis, right variable is kilometers. Okay, I can also see there's basically a straight line presented. All right, so we are working then with miles and kilometers. So that's the two units we will do conversions with. Right, so let's look at our first question. Question number 1a says, determine the number of kilometers, right, in 25 miles. Now we know how to work with the graph. We need to find the 2 points where they intersect, right, where they meet. So I must look at the number of kilometers in 25 miles. So what is my starting point? Let's locate on the axis of miles, right? We locate 25. Are we all clear? There's 25, and I want you to work with me, okay? So now I'm going to move to my right-hand side on this line until I meet with the straight line, right? So please work with me. So I'm all the way here. So it intersects with this line, right? Now I'm going to move downwards, right? Vertically. So first I moved horizontally. Now I'm going to move down. You see, all the way down. So in this case, I can conclude that 25 miles will be equals to 40 kilometers. Guys, is that clear to all of you? All right, can you see? So I found first 25 miles. I moved to my right where I've met or intersect with the straight line. I went down vertically and I saw, okay, that takes me to 40 kilometers. Can we see there? All right, quite straightforward, right? Okay, let's do another one. Let's look at our second question. In question number B, I've indicated here that a car traveled a distance of 40 kilometers. Determine the number of miles this car traveled. Okay, so now, can you see, we are working with kilometers, and we said the car traveled 40 kilometers. We would like to know what is that distance, not in kilometers, but as miles, right? Always important to understand the question. So first things first, let's find 40 kilometers. So I'm now here working with kilometers on my independent axis. So that means here is 40. Are we all fine? So what needs to happen now? I must move all the way up, right? Until I see where it intersects with the straight line. So therefore, 40 kilometers, if I move all the way up on this line, there, I intersect, I meet with the straight line. So what will happen now? I'll move all the way to this side. Right? So therefore, that will give us 25 miles. Guys, are we clear? Whilst we're practicing this, let's do a quick one as well. If you look, let's say for example, this car traveled 30 kilometers, right? A quick one, there's 30 kilometers. What will I do now? From here, I'll move all the way up, where it intersects with that line. Are we clear? So now I will move to my left-hand side. So that will be right on 19 miles, for example. So in this case, we can say that 30 kilometers equals 19 miles. Guys, are we clear? There we go. Let's look at another question. Question number 1C says, determine the number of kilometers in 500 miles. Now, looking at what is presented here, we don't see it, that our graph goes up to 500, right? But now I must somehow come up with a plan, right? So here, first of all, I'll see, okay, I'll work with 10 miles. There's 10 miles. And I'll see how many kilometers will that be. So looking at this, 10 miles will be equivalent to 16 kilometers. Are we clear? So please follow my logic here. 10 miles equals, that will give us 16 kilometers. So now I must go from 10 to 500 to give you that 500 miles, right? So therefore, I'll say 10 multiplied by 50. So if I do that, it will give me 500 miles. We agree. Guys, are we clear on that? So what I do here, I'll also do on the side of my kilometers. I will also multiply 16 by 50. So let's see, 16 multiplied by 50, that will give us 800. And this time, kilometers. Guys, are we clear? So first I found what is 10 miles. I found it 16 kilometers. Then I took my 10 miles to 500 miles by multiplying that by 50. What I did here with the miles, I also did with my kilometers. So I took the 16, multiplied by 50, I ended with 800 kilometers. Guys, I hope that's clear to all of you. Let us now look at our next question. Right. So here we are saying, carefully study the conversion graph to answer the question that follow. Now let's see what our graph is all about. Here I have liters. Here I have gallons. Metric system versus your imperial system. Okay, there again we have a straight line that we'll use to convert. All right, now let's look at our first question. So question number A, it says convert 6 gallons to liters. So we are referring to gallons. It should be 6 gallons. Here we have 6. And now we must move, right? I'm going to move vertically upwards, right, from 6 gallons. Let's see where will it intersect. So when I move to my left-hand side, so I'll see it's 25, 26. So therefore, 6 gallons will be equals to 27, right? So that will be 27 liters. Guys, are we clear on that one? 6 gallons is equivalent to 27 liters. Let's look at our next question. All right, so at question number B, we are saying convert 10 liters to gallons. So this time we're working with liters to gallons. That's what we convert from, right, and to. So 10 liters. So here's our liters. Let's find 10. Here's 10. So I'm going to move. Okay, after finding 10, meets right there. Okay, so therefore we'll go down here, right? Now I want you to look at the intervals, right? So it's 2, 2,2, 2,4, 2,6, 2,8, 3, right? So therefore in this case, 10 liters will be equivalent to 2,2 gallons, right? If you look here, we work in ones, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and here we work in intervals of 0.2. All right, let's move on. Let's do another question. Right, looking at question number C, it says Dion's car drives, right, 52 miles per gallon, meaning with 1 gallon he'll be able to cover 52 miles. Determine how far Dion can drive with 45 liters of fuel. All right, so let's first see. Here I will convert, I'll find my 45 liters to see the equivalent, right, in gallons. So there's 45. I will move all the way to see, okay, where does it meet? So that means that 45, okay, liters is equivalent, right, equals to 10 gallons. Okay, so we are saying with 1 gallon he can cover 52 miles. So therefore, I'll take the 10 gallons and I multiply it by the 52 miles. All right, so that will give us an answer of 520, let's see. Indeed, so therefore it will give me 520, right? It says determine how far, meaning, okay, Dion can drive with that fuel, so it will give me 520 miles. Guys, are we clear? Let me run through this again. I know, looking at my graph, I found that 45 liters of fuel will be equivalent to 10 gallons, right? Because the question stated that his car can drive 52 miles per gallon. So therefore I took 10 gallons and I multiplied by 52 miles. So in total it gives me 520 miles. Guys, let us take a quick advert break. After the break, we'll continue with our lesson. See you shortly.